Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Babatunde. Today I'm going to show you how to add events to your website. Before we continue, if this is your first time on my channel, thank you and you're welcome. If you like what you see today, please hit the like and subscribe button. This way, it helps me to bring you more valuable channels like this. Thank you. Now let's proceed. What we're going to do is from the front end, we want to go to the back end. So we click on here. It takes us to the back end and we want to add a new plugin. So we go to plugins and select add plugin. Here, the plugin we're looking for is the event booking manager plugin, which we can see here on the right hand side. Make sure it's by MIP People Team. Select Install Now. Once installed, hit the Activate button. That will activate it for us. So now we can see that it relies on the WooCommerce plugin. So we need to install WooCommerce and activate it as well. So select Install and Activate now. We can see the first part is done. It is activated. And now it said set up my store. Do we want to do that or we just want to skip? I'd rather skip the guide section. So now it's asking certain details like where your business is located. We say United Kingdom. Can just select go to store. So we can see here that we have one of 6 things set up already. We can set up payments, collect sales tax, shipping, and launch a store. We don't have to bother about any of this for this purpose because we're just trying to show how to set up and use events with the tickets being sold with the events as well. So we're gonna create events and sell those events. That's basically what this is about. So if we look on the left hand side, just right above the WooCommerce, we can see events here. So what we want to do is we can click on the event list, and on the event list we can see when we scroll down we can see that we already have a list of events available to us already. So these are pre-installed events for us to see what they look like. What we want to do though is we want to add our own events. So to start with events, what would we need to create events? For an event, we will need an events category, which is where any particular related events can belong to. So if we click on category here, we we can see certain category names. So like business events, cooking events, home events. So um what shall we call ours? We can say head office events. Slug can just be all small letters just typed in. Um event parent category, it doesn't have a parent category, so it's going to be its own parent and anybody else can join it. So what is it? um we can say this is a head office party events. So now we say add events, add new category. So the new category, as we can see, is now at the top as well. So any new events that's created can use the head office event or any head office event category or any other category that's listed here. So now that we have category, the next thing we want to do is obviously um, who is going to organize the event. So if we click on this left hand side here that says organizer, so we can see who's an organizer. An organizer is just a person that or thing. I don't want to use the word thing. So an organizer is a person or company that will organize an event for us. So like we can see here, mostly they use company names here. So we can probably say in our case, we have the name of the company and the description, just like we did with the category section, but we also have extra information being requested from us, which is the location, the street, so the address and the email. So I'll quickly fill this in here and I'll get back to you. Welcome back. Now that I've completed filling out the ad organization section, which like you can see, we have the name, the parent organizer, there's none, the description, um, of the organizer, the location of the organizer, which is in Cambridge, and the address, the email information should you need to get hold of the organizer, and then we click the add new organizer button. If we scroll back up, we can see the new organizer has been added for us. Now that we have the organizer and we have the category, the thing we need to set up next will be basically an event. But before we do that, maybe we should go have a look at the event settings. So if we click on here, so here the price list and all, we don't need to worry about this for now. So if we go to single events, and under single events, so we have something called speaker list. So when you go up to events, you have somebody that comes on stage and speaks. So that person is known as a speaker. So we need to activate, well, not activate, we need to turn him or on here. So we set the speaker list to yes, and the template, single templates. We don't need anything here anymore for now, and so we don't get too bogged down by this. So just the single event settings, which is what we're going to use, we switch on the speaker here. And then the next thing, of course, we click save changes. And that's all I think we need here for now. Let's see under email settings. Obviously, whatever you use the parameters given below to carve out your email that you send out. But there's one already kind of here, which is good enough. So what we'll do is we have our category, we have our organizer, we have now turned on speakers. So because we turned on speakers, we can see now we have a speaker menu on the left hand side. What we can do is we can go in here and set up all the speakers that we require. So for instance, let's say to add a new speaker, we can say and select add new speaker. Yeah, let's go ahead with Mike Snow. If we scroll down, can give a description. Mike comes with a with a major major experience. That will do. Just for now, it's just for sake of doing this. So what we want to also do is, if we scroll down, we want to add speaker image. So let's look for an image for Mike. So for instance, we can say we use that image for Mike, and we can add alt text. Obviously, that will help, which is SEO. So we click select speaker image, which we can now see here. So if we scroll back up, what we want to do is we want to publish. Once published, now we know we have everything. We now have speaker. In fact, we can add a second one to it, so we can have more than one. We publish that, and now we can say add Tracy Smith. Tracy is very, very interesting and impressive, and well knowledgeable. Just for the sake of doing that. And then let's get an image, speaker image for Tracy. So we can say we assume the one in the middle is Tracy. So we pick that up. Now that we've done that, all we have to do now is click the publish button. So now we have two speakers. If we go back here and have a look at our list of speakers, so we have Tracy and we have Mike. So now that we have all that, the next thing we want to do naturally is to actually create an event, which is the reason why we're here in the first place. So we say add new event. We give it our event a name. So we can say, I don't know, quarterly head office party. So we can say this is a quarterly meeting at the head office to party. Now that we've done this, what we need to then do is set up information below. Actually, we can click on publish for now. and we can view for now. See what we have so far. So far, this is what we have. We have quarterly head office party, event time, and on the left hand side, just this. Not a lot to go with yet. So if we go back here, and now we start, if we scroll down, we start setting up the actual information as required for the events. So venue and location. We leave the first one as no because it's not an online and it's not virtual event we're doing. We're actually going to be in a physical location. So under the location settings, you have two things. You have the event details or you have the organizer's details. So with the event details, you can see at the bottom that it requires us to enter the venue again. So that's the address where the event is happening. But if you select the organizers, what will happen is that section disappears like you can see. But if you're going to use the organizer, make sure that remember the section where we created the organizer at the beginning, you entered the address, the location where the event is going to occur, which is what we did. But on this occasion, what we're going to do is we're going to select the event details and enter the information as requested here. I'll do this quickly and I'll get back to you. Okay, now that I've entered the information as requested, so for the venue, we have the church field. For the street, we have the Broadway, City, Cambridge, State, Cambridgeshire. This is the United Kingdom, obviously. And if you want to show the map to help, you know, the clients to get to where they're going, then you can switch this on. But for this purpose, I'll leave it alone. We'll just keep that for now. Um, so what we want to do is we can update. Not necessarily, we don't really have to yet, but we click on updates, and then the next thing we want to do is now we want to create tickets that we want to sell. So here, if you want to add the add to carts form on your pages, anywhere on your pages that you might have created, then you can just copy this code here and paste there. What we want to do is, if you see we have a form here below, which is for if you want people to register before they can attend your event, then you have to leave this on. Otherwise, if you put this off, you see that the form disappears, so they don't have to have a form or register to get a ticket. They can just walk in. So what we want to do on this occasion is we're gonna leave this on, and then we're gonna set up the ticketing information. So the first thing we want to do is add new ticket type. And before this, actually, we want to set what you called advanced column, which is the ticket type list. So if you look here now, we don't have the ticket when you can stop buying the ticket or start buying the ticket. So what we want to do is we want to put the advanced columns on. So the advanced column will allow us to put the sale date and time and things like that in. So what we want to do is the first ticket we want to do is, I don't know, it can be anything, but we use adults on this occasion. Short description, anyone over 16 years old. Price, we can say £199. Capacity, we can say it's got 200 capacity. Default quantity, we can make a default quantity as as one. Reservation quantity, if you want to reserve for a group of people, then you can put a reservation quantity there. Sale end date, so we can, when are we going to stop selling the ticket? So we can say sale end date is 11th of October, and sale end time, we can enter that. We can say is, what shall we say, 11:59. So the quantity box allows us to have a drop down or one that we can actually enter as in the quantity of tickets. So we go with the drop down on this occasion. So next thing is, let's add one more ticket type here. So the next ticket type we add here, we can say a child, and then we can say anyone under 16 years old. And how much we want to sell it? Say £99. And capacity we have only 50. And default here we want to put 0. And we don't want to have any reservation quantity either. So we can just say we want it to be the same as above. (2025) 11:59. Once again, we select drop down here as well. You can set a feature image for the event here. What can we use as an event purpose? Say we can choose this and we can save it there. And once that is done, we can click update. We don't have to yet, but we can click on that just to keep everything safe that we've done so far. So that's the venue section done. The next, we've done the ticketing section now. So date and time, what we want to do is we can set the date that we actually want the event to happen. So we know our event type is single event that we want to use. So we select that. We're not using repeated events here or particular event, just single event is what we're using. So here we say we want the event to start on, say, October, Saturday, time 1700, and end dates October 19th, the following day, 06 in the morning. We can put how many minutes, say, call it 60 minutes before the event starts. That's the last time we can sell tickets to anybody who needs one. If you want to change the date and time format, we can do this, but we're not going to do it for this purpose. Also, for this event that we're creating, we can actually add, remember we created the event category. What category do we want this event to belong to? We can say we want it to belong to head office events because that's what we want it to belong to. And also the organizer of the event, we want it to be iCreativity that we created earlier. So we can scroll up update. And the next thing we want to do is under settings, you can add SKU number if you wish to. Um, and also things like display end dates, show available seats, reset booking counts. You shouldn't do this unless you definitely have to. If it's a members only event, then you select this, and that way you can select from logged in users, um, basically anything here that you want the membership only to be for. So on this occasion, we're not interested in that, so we leave that alone. The next thing we want to go to is frequently asked questions. So we often get that when you go into events, like if we say add new, so title, you can say how much is parking, answer will be free, save and close, add another one, is there parking? The answer is yes. That'll do it for now. The next thing will be the SEO content. We don't have to worry about that because that's all taken care of for us for the SEO in so many different places if you should need the SEO. But for now, like I said, what we want to do is create events and sell tickets. So next thing is email. So this is what I was talking about earlier on. You have the variables here that you can use to construct the email templates. We'll just skip that for now. Remember, we added speaker information in the configuration. We turned it on. That is why we have this speaker information settings now. Like I said earlier on, every event should have a speaker or two or more. So basically, if we click on the speaker information here, also you can select a speaker from here. If you haven't got any here or that you want here, you can just click on here and that'll take you to the screen that we were before that allowed us to create speakers. So this screen will take us there to add a new speaker. But we already have to, so we're gonna skip that part for now. So these are the speaker icons. So for this purpose, we're gonna use Tracy, which is fine. The the next thing we want to do is, like I said, you don't have to keep selecting the update like I'm doing. So, so we selected the speaker information now. Templates, you have three types of templates. We're going to use the default templates. You have the smart templates and the virtual templates. So they look almost the same to me, the virtual and the default, but I'm sure there's a difference there. The next thing we want to do is want to go to related events. Related events just means if you want to link this event to any other events that might look similar or you think people might want to go after coming to this event, then you select the event from here. But for now, we're going to leave that off as well. So timeline. So sometimes when you go to events, you want to know what's happening at a particular time. So here we can say add a time, add new time setting. So title, we can say opening. We can say time and 17. We can say speaker introduces the list. You can save that. We can say we meant to change that. We can say Anita Baker from 19 expects a great time with Anita Baker. Then you get the idea. You can list everything on here. You can say one more, which is close the time. You can say 06 o'clock. We can say event and time. Save and close. So we have that. The next thing is the gallery, which we're not going to use here. Here we can see that our event is now part of the event list, like we can see here. Quarterly head office party, head office events. So viewing it, we can now see that we have the image here, we have the total seats available, organized by iCreativity, event schedule details, October 18th, 5 p.m., October 19th, 6 a.m. The location, we can see the address of the location. We can see that it can be shared by all this as well. Speakers, Tracy. The event date, October 18th. Event time, location, which is the church field. This is a quarterly meeting. This is all the information. These are the information that we put in. And then the event time, what time does it start opening? Speaker introduces the events, well, the list at 5 o'clock. Anita Baker comes on. Expect a great time with Anita Baker at 7 o'clock. And then event closes at 6 in the morning the next day. So we have all this here. So now we know we can add events, and what we can also do is we can actually register for this event. We can buy this event. Um, but for now, before we go ahead buying the event, what I can do, what I like to show as well is that if we go back here and we go to pages, all pages, we can see that the plugins that we added all this for us. So we have the events grid, we have the list view, and we have the list view with search button. We can have a look at each one of these separately. So the normal view will be like this, which is a grid view, which we can see. The next one we can have a look at is this one here, which is the list style, which is like that. We'll have a list. The next one we can do is we can have a search box, which is this. So we can have it with search box and everything for us. So we can search for a particular one that we need whenever we want, whenever we need it. Do a search, business events. That's disappear because it's not business events. We can go back, say, comes back. We can search by the name. We can search by organizer. If we change the organizer, we can say creativity here, but if we change it to this, we see it disappears. If we change it back, creativity comes on, and we can select by date. So that's one thing we can have a quick look at. So if we go back to our events, say event list, and we also, if we now go back to our event list and select our events again, which is this one here, if we view it, which we've seen already before, we got all the way to ticket options. So now at the ticket options, what we want to do is, if we really want to register, we know an adult is 199, and which is anyone over the age of 16. So what I probably want is, I want to buy a ticket for me and my missus or girlfriend, and I'll select two, and we have a child. I select one child. So roughly we'll be looking around £500. So 497, it tells us here. If I say register for this event, so now it's taking it into the back end, which we can see quarterly head office party has been added to your cat. Then if I had a coupon code, I put it in there, but we didn't set one up for this. We can see on here how much is going to be, everything for us here, and then we can place the order from here as well. So, but if we hit place order, yeah, that's good. It just says invalid payment method because we have not selected one. So that's fine. That's fine. So basically, this is exactly it. But now that we know how to set up our events and tickets, it's now time to actually add it to the website, which is one of the requirements that we talked about earlier that we actually want to see happening here. So we can go out of this now. We can also go out of this. So in here, we can actually go to appearance to add it to our menu. So we can say menu, and on the menu, we can select our event list. So event list with search or event list grid. Let's select the search and say add. Then here we can say we just want it to be called events. And save the menu. So once that's saved, what we want to do is, if we go back to our site, Once on our side, we can see here it says events. And if we click on here now, we can see our list of events, which we can then select and go into and purchase as normal. There we go. And that is it. Thank you for visiting my channel. If you have any questions or anything else you'd like me to demonstrate in the future, any other kind of videos you'd like to see from me, please list it in the comment below. And if you haven't done so already, hit the like and subscribe button if you like what you've seen today. Thank you.